Stop scrolling. Not because this is loud, not because this is dramatic, but because, if you're being honest, you've been searching for something like this. There are moments when advice doesn't just inform you, it lands. It settles in your chest. It makes you pause and think, how did this describe my life so clearly? This is one of those moments. Because if you're here right now, there's a reason. Not coincidence. Not random timing. You didn't click this because everything is going perfectly. You clicked because something feels unfinished. Because part of you knows you're capable of more, but you're not sure how to reach it yet. And before we go any further, I want you to hear this clearly. There is nothing wrong with you for feeling stuck. There is nothing weak about wanting more. And there is nothing broken about questioning your path. Take a breath for a second. Really, slow down. So much of life is spent rushing, trying to keep up, trying to look like we know what we're doing. But very few people talk about the quiet pressure, the late-night thoughts, the feeling of being behind while everyone else seems to be moving forward. Maybe you're working hard, but nothing feels like it's clicking. Maybe you've tried to change before and failed. Or maybe you're doing fine on the outside, but inside you feel disconnected, unfulfilled, or restless. That feeling, that's not failure. That's awareness knocking. Discomfort is often the beginning of growth. And yet, most people run from it. They numb it with distraction. They ignore it with busyness. They silence it with routines that keep them safe, but small. But you didn't ignore it. You're here, which tells me something important about you. You're ready to listen, ready to hear advice that doesn't sugarcoat, but also doesn't tear you down. Because this isn't about motivation for one good day. It's about a shift in how you see yourself and what's possible for you. Let's be honest for a moment. Most of us were never taught how to grow. We were taught how to perform, how to meet expectations, how to avoid mistakes. But growth doesn't come from playing it safe. It comes from understanding yourself deeply and choosing courage anyway. Here's a truth that might leave you speechless. You don't need to become someone else to succeed. You need to stop abandoning who you already are. Read that again, slowly. So many people fail not because they aren't capable, but because they don't believe they are. They carry old labels, old fears, old versions of themselves that no longer fit. And instead of questioning those stories, they build their lives around them. Your thoughts are powerful, but they're not always true. Think about it. How many times have you said things like, "I'm just not disciplined. I always mess things up. It's too late for me. That's just how I am"? What if those aren't facts? What if they're habits of thought? Because once you believe something long enough, your brain looks for evidence to confirm it. And suddenly, every mistake becomes proof instead of feedback. But here's the shift most people never make. The moment you notice a pattern, you create space to change it. That's where real growth begins. Not with hype, not with pressure, but with awareness. And awareness is powerful. It allows you to step out of autopilot, to stop reacting and start choosing, to stop living by default and start living deliberately. You don't change your life by chance. You change it by choice. And maybe right now, you're standing at the edge of that choice. Part of you wants to grow, to evolve, to finally go after what you want. Another part is afraid of failing again or being seen trying. That tension, that's where transformation lives. Let me tell you something you might not hear often. You are not behind in life. You are early in becoming who you're meant to be. There is no universal timeline, no single path, no deadline you missed. Everyone you admire once felt exactly like you do now. Uncertain, unsure, quietly hoping they weren't wasting their potential. The difference wasn't talent. It was self-belief built over time. And belief doesn't come from waiting. It comes from understanding yourself and then acting anyway. So if you're tired of starting over, tired of getting motivated and then losing momentum, tired of knowing what to do but not doing it, good. That frustration is information. It's telling you that surface-level advice isn't enough anymore. You don't need another quote. You don't need another shortcut. You need a foundation. Because when the foundation changes, everything built on top of it changes too. Here's a short reminder, one worth carrying with you. Your current situation is not your final destination. Say it again, and understand this. You don't need to have the whole plan. You don't need to feel confident yet. You just need to be willing to look inward. Because once you understand how you think, why you react the way you do, and what's been holding you back, you gain something most people never do: control. Not control over life, but control over your response to it. And that changes everything. In the next part, we're going to talk about self-awareness and mindset, the starting point of all lasting change. We'll explore how understanding yourself reshapes your decisions, your confidence, and your future. This advice might leave you speechless, but what you do with it will change your life. Let's begin. Before anything in your life truly changes, before the goals, the confidence, the success, there's a moment that has to happen first. A moment of honesty. Not the kind where you criticize yourself. The kind where you finally see yourself. Because you cannot outgrow what you refuse to understand. And you cannot build a strong future on a weak awareness of who you are right now. Self-awareness is the foundation of everything. It's the ability to pause and ask, why do I react like this? Why do I keep repeating this pattern? Why do I sabotage the things I say I want? Most people never ask these questions, not because they don't matter, but because they're uncomfortable. And yet, discomfort is often the doorway to freedom. Awareness is the beginning of choice. When you lack self-awareness, you live on autopilot. Your habits run your days. Your emotions make your decisions. Your past quietly dictates your future. But the moment you become aware, even slightly, you create space. Space to respond instead of react. Space to choose instead of repeat. Space to grow. Let's talk about mindset, because mindset isn't just positivity. It's not pretending everything is fine. Mindset is the internal environment you live in every day. It's the voice you hear when things go wrong. It's the meaning you assign to failure. It's what you believe about your ability to change. And here's something that might stop you in your tracks. Your mindset was learned, which means it can be unlearned. Think about how many beliefs you carry that were never questioned. I'm bad at this. I don't finish what I start. I'm not confident. People like me don't succeed. At some point, those were just thoughts. Over time, they became identities. But identities are not facts. They're stories repeated long enough to feel real. Your thoughts shape your world, but you choose your thoughts. Let me share a real example. Someone grew up believing they weren't smart. Not because it was true, but because it was said often enough. So they avoided challenges, stayed quiet in rooms where they had ideas, chose comfort over growth. Years later, they asked themselves one question: what if that belief is wrong? They didn't suddenly become fearless. They simply tested the belief instead of obeying it. They spoke up once, tried again, failed, learned, and slowly something shifted. Not intelligence, but confidence. Not talent, but self-trust. That's how mindset changes. Not in leaps, but in evidence. Belief grows where action goes. Self-awareness helps you identify 3 things that shape your life: your patterns, your habits, your self-talk. Let's start with patterns. Patterns are repeated behaviors, especially under stress. Do you withdraw when things get hard? Do you overwork to avoid feeling inadequate? Do you procrastinate when something matters too much? Patterns aren't flaws. They're protection strategies, learned responses to past experiences. And awareness allows you to update them. Try this reflection. What situations trigger me most? What do I usually do in response? How does that response help me? And how does it hurt me? No judgment, just observation. Now habits. Your habits are simply your identity in motion. You don't wake up one day with a certain life. You practice your way into it. If your habits support who you want to become, progress feels natural. If they don't, everything feels like resistance. Ask yourself, what do I do consistently without thinking? What do those habits say about my priorities? Which habits align with my future and which belong to my past? Your habits don't define you, but they reveal you. And then there's self-talk. This is where mindset lives. The way you speak to yourself becomes the emotional climate of your life. If your inner voice is harsh, growth feels unsafe. If it's patient, growth feels possible. Here's a powerful exercise. For one day, listen to your inner dialogue as if it belonged to someone else. Ask, would I accept this tone from another person? Would I say this to someone I love? Is this voice helping me grow or keeping me small? Then begin replacing criticism with clarity. Not, I always fail. But, this didn't work. What can I learn? Not, I'm not good enough. But, I'm improving. Talk to yourself like someone worth becoming. Now let's talk about emotional awareness. Because strength isn't emotional suppression. Strong people feel deeply. They just don't let emotions drive the car. When frustration shows up, pause. When fear rises, listen. When doubt appears, question it. Emotions are messengers, not enemies. Ask, what is this emotion trying to protect me from? What does it need right now? What action aligns with my values, not my fear? This is mindset in action. Let me tell you another story. Someone believed they lacked discipline. They tried forcing themselves to change over and over. Nothing stuck. Eventually, they realized the issue wasn't discipline. It was exhaustion. Once they adjusted their expectations, once they built rest into their system, consistency followed. Self-awareness changed the solution. Clarity creates compassion. Compassion creates change. Here are a few affirmations to anchor this section. I am allowed to grow at my own pace. I can notice my thoughts without believing them. Awareness is my advantage. I am not broken. I am learning. Say the one you need most. Because here's the truth. A strong mindset isn't loud. It's steady. It doesn't panic at failure. It doesn't quit when things get hard. It adapts. And once you understand yourself, your fears, your habits, your strengths, you stop fighting blindly. You move with intention. And that's where everything begins to change. In the next section, we're going to take this awareness and turn it into direction. We'll talk about goal setting and planning for success, not in a way that overwhelms you, but in a way that aligns with who you truly are. Because when self-awareness leads, success follows. Once you truly understand yourself, your patterns, your fears, your mindset, there's a moment where everything shifts. You stop asking, why am I like this? And you start asking, where am I going? That question changes everything. Because awareness without direction becomes frustration. But awareness paired with a clear goal, that becomes momentum. Goals give your growth a direction to move in. Planning gives that movement structure. And here's something important to understand right away. Goals are not pressure. They're permission. Permission to focus. Permission to say no to distractions. Permission to build a life intentionally instead of accidentally. Without a clear direction, even effort gets lost. If you don't choose where you're going, life will choose for you. and it's usually not aligned with your deepest values. So let's talk about how to do this in a way that actually works. Not overwhelming, not unrealistic, not built on motivation alone, built on clarity. Step 1. Choose goals that matter to you. This is where most people go wrong. They choose goals that sound impressive, goals they think they should want, goals shaped by comparison instead of truth. But goals that don't align with who you are will always feel heavy. Ask yourself, what kind of life would feel meaningful to me? What would future me thank me for starting now? What am I willing to work on even when no one is watching? Those answers matter. Let me tell you a story. Someone spent years chasing a version of success they didn't truly want. The money was okay. The recognition looked good. But inside, they felt empty. One day, they asked a dangerous question. If no one else's opinion mattered, what would I choose? The answer changed their direction. They simplified. They realigned. They stopped performing and started building. And for the first time, progress felt fulfilling instead of draining. Alignment creates sustainable success. So here's an exercise. Write down one goal in each of these areas. Personal growth, health, or energy, career, or purpose, relationships, or contribution, just one. Clarity beats complexity. Step 2. Turn dreams into actions. A dream without a plan stays a wish. So we zoom in. Instead of saying, I want to be confident, I want to succeed, I want to change my life, ask, what does this look like in action? What would this require daily or weekly? Confidence might look like speaking up once a day, practicing a skill consistently, setting one honest boundary. Success might look like learning one skill deeply, applying with consistency, showing up before you feel ready. Big goals are built from small behaviors. Now use this simple framework. For each goal, define what I want, why it matters, how I'll work toward it, when I'll review progress. You don't need perfection. You need direction. Step 3. Break it down until it feels possible. If your goal feels overwhelming, it's not because you're incapable. It's because it's too big right now. Break it down. Instead of asking, how do I get there? Ask, what's the next step? Progress doesn't come from heroic effort. It comes from consistency. Here's a powerful story. Someone wanted to completely change their life, but kept freezing. Every plan felt massive. Every task felt loaded with pressure. So they changed one thing. They stopped planning outcomes. They started planning effort. Instead of, I'll build a new career, they said, I'll spend 30 minutes a day learning. No pressure, no timeline. A year later, their life looked unrecognizable. Momentum comes from movement, not confidence. Discipline, focus, and procrastination. Let's talk about discipline, because it's misunderstood. Discipline isn't force. It's structure. It's deciding in advance so emotions don't get to decide for you later. Motivation fades. Discipline carries you forward. Here are tools that help. 1. Reduce friction. Make good habits easy to start. Prepare your space. Remove distractions. 2. Create routines, not rigid rules. Life changes. Your system should adapt. 3. Track effort, not perfection. Effort builds trust. Trust builds consistency. And procrastination, it's not laziness. It's usually fear of failure, success, or judgment. When you feel stuck, ask, what am I avoiding? What feels heavy here? What's the smallest step I can take? Then take that step. You don't need to finish. You just need to begin. Stay focused on what matters. You cannot do everything, and you don't need to. Focus is a choice. Choose what aligns with your goals and protect it. Say no to distractions that drain you. Say yes to actions that move you forward. This isn't selfish. It's intentional. You can do this, one focused decision at a time. Persistence changes everything. Every successful person you admire had moments where quitting felt logical. They doubted. They failed. They questioned themselves. What separated them wasn't talent. It was persistence. They adjusted, but they didn't stop. And you can do the same. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be willing. Willing to try again. Willing to refine the plan. Willing to trust that effort compounds. Say this quietly: I don't quit on myself. Because planning isn't about controlling the future. It's about preparing yourself to meet it. And once you begin moving toward your goals, something inevitable happens. You encounter resistance, unexpected challenges, internal doubts, moments where things don't go as planned. That's not failure. That's the next level. In the next section, we're going to talk about facing challenges and overcoming obstacles, how to stay grounded when things get hard, and how to grow stronger instead of giving up. Because this advice doesn't just inspire, it prepares you. Let's keep going. If you've been moving forward, setting goals, making plans, trying to change, then sooner or later, something will go wrong. That's not pessimism. That's reality. Because growth isn't a straight line. It's a series of starts, stops, setbacks, and restarts. And here's the part that surprises people. Obstacles don't show up to stop you. They show up to shape you. Every meaningful path includes resistance. Not as punishment, but as preparation. If you've ever felt discouraged, if you've ever wondered whether it's worth continuing, if you've ever questioned yourself mid-journey, you're not failing. You're exactly where resilience is built. Strength is not built in comfort. It's built in challenge. Let's talk about the common obstacles people face. Progress that feels painfully slow. Effort that goes unnoticed. Plans that don't unfold the way you imagined. There are moments when doubt gets louder than belief. When old habits resurface. When the voice in your head says, "See, this is why you shouldn't try." That voice feels convincing because it sounds familiar. But familiarity does not equal truth. The roadblocks you face aren't signs you're on the wrong path. They're signs you've left your comfort zone. And nothing grows inside comfort. Let me tell you a story. Someone worked toward a goal for years. They sacrificed time, energy, certainty. Then one moment changed everything. A rejection, a loss, a door that slammed shut. It felt final. For months, they stopped moving. Not because they were lazy, but because disappointment stole their courage. Then one day, they asked a question that changed their life. If this didn't work, what did it prepare me for? They realized something powerful. The skills were still there. The discipline was still there. The resilience, quietly built over years, was still there. So they tried again. Not from the beginning, but from experience. And the second time, they weren't just chasing success. They were ready for it. Failure doesn't erase progress. It reveals it. Resilience is not the absence of pain. It's the ability to keep going with pain. It's learning how to stay present in discomfort without letting it define you. So how do you actually build resilience? Let's make this practical. 1. Change the meaning of setbacks when something goes wrong. Ask yourself, is this a verdict or is it feedback? Most people treat setbacks like identity statements. They make it personal. But setbacks are information. They tell you what needs adjusting, not who you are. Say this when things don't go as planned. This is data, not a definition. That mindset keeps you moving. 2. Separate who you are from what happened. You are not your last mistake. You are not your worst moment. You are not the outcome of one bad day. If you tie your identity to results, every setback feels devastating. Instead, anchor your identity to effort. I am someone who keeps showing up. That identity is unbreakable. 3. Build emotional endurance. Mental toughness doesn't mean ignoring emotions. It means knowing how to move through them. When frustration appears, pause. When fear rises, breathe. When doubt speaks, listen, but don't obey. Ask, what am I feeling? Why is it here? What response aligns with my values? Emotions are signals, not commands. Courage is action taken in the presence of fear. 4. Learn when to rest and when not to quit. Resilience includes rest. Burnout is not proof of commitment. It's a sign something needs to change. Sometimes the most resilient thing you can do is slow down without giving up. Rest restores clarity. Clarity restores strength. But quitting hands control back to fear. Know the difference. 5. Build resilience through small wins. You don't become resilient by waiting for big victories. You build it through small follow-throughs. Every time you do what you said you would do, even when it's uncomfortable, you reinforce self-trust. And self-trust is the foundation of resilience. Let me share another story. Someone believed they had missed their chance. They told themselves they were too late, too far behind. So they stopped trying. Years later, they realized something simple, but powerful. Time was going to pass anyway. So they started, late, imperfect, unsure. And instead of regret, they found pride, because they didn't let the past decide the future. It's never too late to begin again. Resilience also requires perspective. When you're in the middle of a setback, everything feels permanent. But most moments are temporary, even the painful ones. Ask yourself, will this matter in a year? What is this strengthening in me? How will this story make sense later? You may not see it yet, but this challenge is expanding your capacity. And one more thing, support matters. You don't have to be strong alone. You don't have to carry everything by yourself. Resilience grows in connection. Find people who remind you who you are when you forget. And if you don't have that yet, be that voice for yourself. Say, I am allowed to struggle. I am allowed to try again. I am stronger than this moment. Because you are. Resilience isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It shows up quietly, in the moments you keep going when no one is watching. And once you learn how to face obstacles, once you stop being afraid of failure, something powerful happens. Momentum. In the next section, we're going to talk about taking action and maintaining momentum. How to keep moving forward consistently, even when life gets busy or unpredictable. Because resilience keeps you standing, but action moves you forward. Let's go there next. At some point, inspiration has to become action. Not tomorrow. Not when everything feels perfect. Now. Because the truth is, nothing changes until you do. Dreams don't respond to intention. They respond to effort. And effort, repeated over time, becomes consistency. Consistency is the quiet force behind every success story. Most people wait. They wait to feel confident. They wait to feel ready. They wait for clarity to magically appear. But clarity doesn't come before action. It comes from action. Every step you take teaches you something. Every attempt gives you feedback. Every day you show up builds proof that you can be trusted with your own future. So if you've been standing still, waiting for the right moment, this is your moment. Let's talk honestly about consistency. Consistency is not perfection. It's not never missing a day. It's not grinding until you burn out. Consistency is showing up again, especially after you didn't. It's choosing progress over excuses, returning without shame, continuing without applause. Success isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in repetition. Here's the shift that changes everything. Stop focusing on outcomes. Start focusing on inputs. Outcomes are distant. Inputs are controllable. You can't control when success arrives, but you can control whether you act today. So how do you actually do this? Step 1. Shrink the goal until it's unavoidable. If your goal feels heavy, you'll resist it. So make it lighter. Instead of, I'll change my life, try, I'll take one intentional action today. Instead of, I'll become disciplined, try, I'll show up for 5 minutes. Small actions reduce resistance. Resistance is what stops most people. Momentum loves simplicity. Ask yourself, what is the smallest version of this habit I can commit to daily? That's your starting line. Step 2. Turn goals into daily habits. Big goals are built through small routines. If you want a different future, you need different days. That means designing habits that fit your life, not fight it. Anchor habits to what you already do. After waking up, one intentional thought. After eating, one moment of awareness. After sitting down to work, 5 focused minutes on your priority. Habits stick when they're attached, not forced. You don't need more motivation. You need better systems. Step 3. Decide before emotions. Consistency fails when decisions are left to feelings. So decide in advance. Decide when you'll act. Decide how long you'll act. Decide what done looks like. Then when resistance shows up, and it will, you don't negotiate. You execute. This is discipline, not punishment, but self-respect. Let me tell you a story. Someone struggled with procrastination for years. They believed they lacked discipline, but the truth was simpler. They were overwhelmed. Every task felt too big. Every goal felt loaded with pressure. So they tried something different. They committed to one rule. Show up, no matter how you feel. Some days they did great. Most days they did the minimum. But they never stopped showing up. Months later, their confidence changed. Not because life got easier, but because they became consistent. Action builds identity. Now let's talk about perseverance. Because consistency is tested when life interrupts. There will be days when you're tired. Days when old habits call you back. Days when you feel like you're going nowhere. That's normal. That's when consistency matters most. But here's the key. Missing a day doesn't break consistency. Quitting does. So when you fall off, return. Say, okay, I'm back. No guilt. No drama. Just forward motion. Progress continues the moment you return. Stay focused without burning out. Focus isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters. You don't need to optimize everything. You need to protect your priorities. Ask yourself, what deserves my energy right now? What can wait? What distracts me from who I want to become? Say no to what drains you. Say yes to what aligns. And remember, rest is not quitting. Rest sustains consistency. Burnout kills it. Celebrate small wins. Most people quit because they don't see progress. But progress is often invisible before it's obvious. Celebrate showing up. Celebrate effort. Celebrate follow-through. Your brain needs reinforcement. And every small win tells your nervous system, this is safe. This is possible. Let me share one more story. Someone felt invisible for years. They worked quietly, improved slowly. No recognition, no instant results. But they stayed consistent. And one day, people called it overnight success. It wasn't. It was years of showing up. Slow progress is still progress. So here's your direct call to action. Start today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, do one thing, just one, that aligns with who you want to become. One page, one walk, one decision. That's it. Because the future you want is built by the actions you take now. And in the final part, we're going to slow down again. We'll reflect on everything you've learned. We'll reconnect you with your purpose. And we'll leave you with something to carry forward. Let's bring this home. Take a deep breath. Right now, pause. Just for a moment. Because if you've been listening this far, you already know something inside you is ready. Something inside you is waking up. Something is saying, I want more. I can do more. I will do more. And that voice, listen to it. Honor it. Because everything we've talked about in this journey, every lesson, every insight, every story, was meant to reach that part of you. Let's take a moment to reflect. We started with self-awareness. The courage to look at yourself honestly, to understand your habits, your strengths, your patterns, and even your fears. You learned that awareness isn't judgment. It's freedom. Because once you see your reality clearly, you can finally make conscious choices. You stop reacting and you start responding. You stop repeating old patterns and you start building the life you truly want. Then we explored mindset. Your mindset is the inner voice that shapes your world. It's the way you interpret challenges, setbacks, and opportunities. You learned that a growth mindset doesn't mean avoiding difficulty. It means saying, this is hard, but I can learn. I can adapt. I can grow. Every belief you hold about yourself is a tool. Choose the ones that serve you. Speak to yourself with kindness. Remind yourself that each day is a chance to strengthen the voice in your head. Next came goal setting and planning. You discovered that dreams without direction remain dreams. Goals give you clarity. Planning gives you control. And breaking your goals into small, actionable steps transforms what feels overwhelming into something tangible. You don't need to know the entire journey before taking the first step. You just need to take it. And then the next. And then the next. Step by step, day by day, your future begins to unfold. We also talked about resilience and overcoming obstacles. You realize that setbacks are not failures, they are opportunities. Every challenge you face is shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for what's next. Resilience isn't about being unbreakable. It's about bending without breaking, continuing without giving up, and trusting that each struggle carries a lesson and a gift. Strength is built in moments when you keep going even when it's hard. Remember that, because it's true. And then we moved into action and consistency. All the knowledge, awareness, and planning in the world doesn't matter without action. Success is built in the quiet, repeated moments, when you show up even when you don't feel like it. Momentum comes from doing, not just thinking. Consistency compounds over time. Every small choice you make to act, even imperfectly, builds trust in yourself. Every day you follow through, you're creating evidence that you can be counted on by others, but more importantly, by yourself. So where does that leave you? Right here, right now. And the truth is simple. You have everything you need to begin. You have the awareness, the mindset, the plan, the resilience, and the ability to act. The only thing standing between you and the life you dream about is the decision to start and to keep going. So I'm going to ask you something. Are you ready to take that step today? Because today is not a rehearsal. Today is real. Today is your chance to move toward the life you've imagined. Start with one thing, one action, one choice that aligns with who you want to become. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be huge. It just needs to be done. Say this out loud if you can. I am capable. I am resilient. I am committed to my growth. Today, I take action. Let that affirmation sink in. Let it guide you. Let it remind you that you are stronger than fear, braver than doubt, and more capable than you've allowed yourself to believe. Because here's the thing about life. Opportunities don't wait for you to feel ready. The perfect moment rarely comes. But action, even imperfect action, creates momentum. And momentum brings clarity. Momentum brings confidence. Momentum brings change. Think about the people you admire. Everyone you look up to has faced setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. What separated them from giving up was not luck or talent alone. It was perseverance. They kept moving forward. They kept showing up. They kept believing in themselves when the world didn't. And that's what you can do, too. So here's your challenge. From this moment, commit to one thing. One daily action, one habit, one step that moves you closer to your dream. Then commit to doing it again tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. Because consistency, small wins, and persistence will compound into extraordinary results you can't even imagine yet. Remember these words. Your life doesn't change in a single moment, but in every moment you choose to show up. The strongest people aren't those who never struggle, but those who struggle and keep going anyway. Start now. Start small. Start imperfect, but start. You are ready. You are capable. You are worthy. And you don't need anyone's approval, only your own commitment. So go forward with courage. Go forward with intention. Go forward knowing that every step, no matter how small, is a victory. Every action, no matter how simple, is a declaration of your power to shape your own life. And finally, carry this with you. This message, this guidance, this spark, it found you for a reason. Let it light the path forward. Let it remind you of your strength. Let it fuel the first action you take today toward the life you were meant to live. You are capable of greatness. You are resilient. You are unstoppable. And the best part, this is only the beginning. Keep moving. Keep believing. Keep showing up. Because your future is waiting, and it's brighter than you think.